I mean, you had Tim Walz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with the Tesla stock price where the stock price had gone in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do! What a creep! What a jerk! Like who derives joy from that? And it was pointed out to him that actually, Minnesota State Pension Fund is a major investor in Tesla. But he didn't care. He was so overjoyed by Tesla stock going in half. So does that sound like a good person to you? I don't think so.
Now, that is a new clip from the Doge interview last night, and we're going to cover the most viral moments of that entire interview and the reaction that's taken place, and clearly debunk a lot of the lies that the left is continuing to spew about this interview. Now, that was Elon Musk clearly, giving Tim Walz a reality check, because he is a weird individual, I might say. But let me go to this next clip. This is him also responding to his claim that Mark Kelly is a traitor.
Democratic Arizona Senator Mark Kelly posted on X about his trip to Ukraine to push for continuing to send U.S. weapons and support there, and you posted that he was a traitor. Well, why do that?
Well, I think somebody should care about the interests of the United States above the interests of another country. And if they don't, they're a traitor.
Yeah, but he's a decorated veteran, a former astronaut, a sitting U.S. senator.
It doesn't mean it's okay for him to put the interests of another country above America.
Now, let's be fair. The word traitor is definitely hyperbolic, no question. But listen, the Democrats clearly have not had America's best interest at heart here. They've had their pockets is what they really care about. Now, Mark Kelly is going to claim that, no, I've served my country honorably, which might be true, by the way. He was an astronaut, served honorably, which is definitely true. But that doesn't mean as a congressman, you've been serving honorably. We know you're corrupt. Let's just call it what it is. Now, here is a more serious tone from Elon Musk about what really matters in this wasteful war.
The thing that we should be concerned about is we should have empathy for the thousands of people that are dying every day in trenches for no movement in the lines. So the borders remain the same. For the past 2 years, thousands of people have died every week for nothing. For what? And I take great offense at those who put the appearance of goodness over the reality of it. Those who virtue signal and say, oh, we can't give in to Russia, but have no solution to stopping thousands of kids dying every day. They just want that to continue forever. I have contempt for such people. I don't want to make that clear.
Yeah. So you're optimistic.
Because they're virtue signaling, and their lack of a solution means that kids don't have a father. It means that parents lost a son. For what? Nothing.
Now, before we go any further, if you guys have been getting value from our channel, and especially this video, do us a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support us further, you could go to the link in the description below and shop our merch store, or you could buy us a cup of coffee. So that's Elon Musk doubling down on calling Mark Kelly a traitor. Clearly, we know what really matters to him in regards to this wasteful war. It's to stop the bloodshed. Now, here is the senator responding to Elon Musk's comments, and I don't think you'll be surprised by what he said.
At this point, what do you say?
Well, I don't even know if he deserves a response, but what I will say is that I've spent an entire career standing up for our country, defending our country, flying in combat over Iraq, flying in space on the space shuttle, serving in the United States Senate. My entire life has been about serving this country. And I always stand with the best interest of our nation. And I will tell you this, Aaron, standing with our allies and standing up for democracy is in the best interest of the United States. And when you consider, who is Elon standing with at this point? A bunch of billionaires? It seems to me that some folks in the administration sort of switch sides here. I would put Elon at this point in the category of being much closer to Russia.
Well, I could tell you who he's fighting for: the taxpayers and their money. That's what you failed to mention in your little spiel there. You said everything but the American citizen. You see, you're not fighting for a democracy because we don't live in one. We live in a republic. That's number one. Number two, you care more about what's happening in Ukraine than you do with military veterans. And you're a veteran yourself. And third, if you really wanted the war to end, you would have been coming out publicly and demanding Joe Biden to come up with a peace deal to stop the bloodshed. You never did that once. So I don't buy anything that Mark Kelly is saying. Now, here's your favorite commentator on Fox News, Jessica. She has another interesting take about Elon Musk and Doge. Take a look.
There were, I'm sure, some things that they were talking about that are absolutely true. 40% seems really high in terms of the percentage of fraudster calls into Social Security. But what Musk and co didn't address is that they are closing Social Security offices all over the country, and that Republican representatives like Tom Cole from Oklahoma has to call Musk personally to say, please spare my district. That means, as Brett said, the 94-year-old grandma can't get through to someone, can't even walk down the street or get in her car, have someone drive her to go in there and deal with it.
Now, let's just address her main thing that I think is worth reaction to, which is this claim that they've been closing Social Security offices. Now, that's a heavy claim, and I think it's worthy doing the research right here in front of you in this video. So I went to where? SSA.gov. They already have this article up, dated March 27th, and it says it right there in the beginning. Recent reports in the media that the Social Security Administration's permanently closing local field offices are false. Since January 1st, 2025, the agency has not permanently closed or announced the permanent closure of any local field office. From time to time, SSA must temporarily close a local field office for reasons such as weather, damage, or facility issues, and it reopens when the issues are resolved. The agency has announced the permanent closure of one hearing office, which was in White Plains, New York. Now, I'm going to do my due diligence here, okay? I'm going to keep it very thorough for you guys. Listen to this article, and this is why Democrats are claiming that Social Security offices are closing. It reads, a list of the Social Security offices across the U.S. expected to close this year. Meaning what? It has not closed this year. I mean, again, they are basically making statements that are past tense as if it's already happened when it hasn't happened.
But what Musk and co didn't address is that they are closing Social Security offices all over the country.
And so they're freaking people out, and I think it's unnecessary. Wait for the offices to close and then panic. Yeah, so the bottom line is what? There are 0 Social Security field offices that have been closed permanently. So why are Democrats spending their time freaking people out over it? Because that's what they do best. Now, this takes us to the next clip that went viral as well. It's the claim from Doge that about 40% of the phone calls to Social Security are from fraudsters.
At Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%?
That's right. Almost half.
Now, obviously, Democrats will roll their eyes and downplay it and say, oh, that's not really happening. Can I remind them how many spam calls happen every single day in America? Can I also remind them who is the #1 person that is subject to scams in America? It's senior citizens. So if you think for a second that they're not trying to steal senior citizens' Social Security checks, you're crazy. Okay.
The amount of issues that were the Social Security system are enormous. As an example, there are over 15 million people that are over the age of 120 that are marked as alive in the Social Security system.
And that's an accurate figure.
Yes.
Correct.
15 million.
Correct. This has been something that's been identified as a problem, again, pre-existing problems since 2008 at least, from an IG report. So there were some great people working at the Social Security Administration that found this, 2008, and nothing was done. And so 15 to 20 million Social Security numbers that were clearly fraudulent were floating around that can be used only for bad intentions. There'd be no way to use those for good intentions.
Now, this is an interesting question. Did you hear that a left-wing activist just leaked Doge employee emails last week? You see, political activists will do anything, even expose your private information for political gain. That's why I'm glad I'm using Aura, because Aura will instantly alert me if my phone number, email address, or Social Security number appears on the dark web. They even notify me if someone attempts to hack my bank account or credit cards. But here is the best part. They provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. This gives me real peace of mind if my personal information ever gets compromised. So don't wait until it's too late. Protect your identity today with Aura. All you have to do is go to aura.com/Devori. That is AURA.com/Devori to get your identity protected today, and you get 14 days free. But like I keep saying, Democrats don't believe it whatsoever. They downplay it. They don't even entertain the idea is even possible. Let me show you an example.
The facts don't back up what Musk is claiming, because already, I mean, there was a story out of Seattle where one man lost his Social Security benefits because Doge considered him dead, said that he was one of the dead recipients. He wasn't. Took him a while to get his Social Security back. We're already seeing that Social Security phone services are not working as well, that people are having a harder time reaching who they need to in order to receive that. There's a story out just today from Reuters saying that FDA is having trouble verifying the safety of medical devices and tobacco products because of the fact that the layoffs occurred. So there's all these elements across the government where you're starting to see that things are not getting done, whether it's checking the efficacy of vaccines and safety in products, or goods and services like Social Security.
All right, so the good thing about the internet, you could always go track down the receipts. Now, this report is from 2015, okay? And basically the bottom line is they're already saying, hey, the whole point of this audit was to figure out if you guys have fixed this issue already. Due to that original complaint in 2008. March 2015, it says findings. SSA did not have controls in place to annotate death information in the records of number holders who exceeded maximum reasonable life expectations and were likely deceased. To illustrate, we have identified approximately 6.5 million number holders age 112 or older who did not have death information in the system. And then deeper into the report, to back up what I just said, it said that they matched 6.5 million Social Security numbers against SSA's e-verify systems and identified thousands of instances of potential identity theft or other fraud. I mean, we can keep going, but I think you guys get the point here. And so what they love to do is take that one example where the individual had his benefits paused because in the system it said that he had already passed away. Now, is that Doge's fault that the system said that? I mean, I think they did the right thing by making sure the guy was alive or not. I mean, I don't know why they get all up in arms about basic things that really is a part of the relationship here. If you're getting government benefits, we got to be able to verify your information. I don't think that is unreasonable. Now, in this next clip, this has to actually be the statement that I would say triggered everybody on the left, because this was the one that everybody had to say something about. Listen to it for yourself.
Well, this is a revolution, and I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent. The critical programs that people depend upon will work, and it's going to be a fantastic future. But are we going to get a lot of complaints along the way? Absolutely. You know, one of the things I learned at PayPal was you know who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters. It's a tell. There's some of these NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams' NGO that basically didn't exist and suddenly gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. Why? And there are many such cases like that.
Now, here's what President Trump had to say about Stacey Abrams. He says, also, is Stacey Abrams going to give back the $2 billion they funneled into her environmental fund just prior to my assuming office? She went from $100 in donations to $2 billion in just one day. Not bad. Get back the money. Now, we know Democrats aren't going to buy that. They don't believe she did anything illegal. Now, she obviously is under investigation because there was a nonprofit who broke rules when they donated to her campaign in Georgia. But that's not actually directly connected to the $2 billion here. So we'll see if the $2 billion ends up as an investigation or not. Now, here's Senator Kennedy and what he had to say about the Doge interview.
I want to make a general suggestion to Mr. Musk and the president. Number one, I think part of the problem is that Mr. Musk has not talked enough, other than on Twitter, and his team have not talked enough about what they've been doing and why they're doing it. They need to hold a press conference every 2 weeks for the press and the American people to say, this is what we've done, this is what we found, this is how we did it. Number two, I begged the president last week, and I'm going to keep begging. When Mr. Musk gets rid of waste, he's sued, and the judges enjoin it. The only way for us to get rid of this spending porn permanently is for the president to send us over what's called a rescission bill.
Right.
Pick 10 or 20 of the worst evidences or the worst items of waste and say, Congress, I want you to get rid of it. And let us get rid of it and make the Democrats vote on it.
Yeah, so the senator is spot on about those. I'm definitely in agreement. I think there should be some level of some type of press conferences showing what's happening here. Why? Because if they don't do that, they're allowing Democrats to frame the narrative. And clearly it's worked in their favor, which is why Elon Musk is suffering from this disapproval rating that's really low. So I definitely agree with him on that. And then Congress will still need to get involved. So Doge can cut all they want. They can reorganize agencies, they can lay people off, but Congress is still going to have to pass that law. And so we'll see if they end up doing it. And I think if Republicans are smart, as far as midterms are concerned, they need to do it as soon as possible so they make the American people see that Democrats are not serious about this.
I do think there's the potential for a great future, as long as America remains the land of freedom and opportunity. So freedom means that the government does not infringe upon your personal liberties, that you can do what you want as long as it doesn't harm another person. The land of opportunity means that you succeed on the basis of your merits, on how hard you work and how good you are at your job. Those fundamental principles are what will ensure a great future. And that's what President Trump is committed to doing. It's what the Doge team is committed to doing. And if we succeed, I think we'll have a wonderful future.
So what do you guys think about the reaction from the Doge interview? I showed you newer clips that were posted today where Elon Musk clearly responded to what Tim Walz had to say, and also Mark Kelly. But overall, did you enjoy that interview? And if you did, why? Tell me something that you may have learned that you didn't know previously. Also, we showed you receipts throughout this video. Let me know what you think about that as well. Put all of that in the comment section below. Now, while Elon Musk has been focusing on cutting fraud, waste, and abuse, President Trump is focusing on continuing to deport these violent illegal aliens, which is why he had to outmaneuver that district court judge that blocked him from doing so by going to the Supreme Court and asking them to overturn that judge's injunction. If you missed out on that breaking story, all you have to do is click on that video because it's coming up right now.